Okay, then we'll move on. We're going to need to approve the consent agenda as it's written, or if anybody would like anything pulled from the consent agenda. We could use a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second, Dwayne. All right, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda as written signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Thank you. We're going to drop down here then to 6A, and Luana is here. Come on up, and we'll talk the Blue Nose fencing request you got. Hi there, welcome.
Thank you. So we have our Blue Nose Go for 50-mile bicycle race. That's our 5th year this year now doing it, our annual event. So every year we've asked to close the back of Blue Nose. This year, actually, I kind of started doing it where it's like where the lawyer's office is, closing that off to traffic, and then fencing up towards, you know where that fence is? It's kind of weird, I'm describing it. Up, that's like behind Blue Nose, up by the river, before the grass. So just
Okay.
that area. So it wouldn't affect the rest of the parking lot by the Legion, and it would be for this Saturday, from like 6 a.m. to about 3 p.m.
Yeah, okay.
And then we open it back up when the last cyclist, so it has a finish line, so they're able to have their bikes and safely come in and park there without the threat of a car coming
Yeah.
up the other way.
So you block it off, yeah, right down there
By the lawyer's office.
by the lawyer's office there, so they can't come behind there.
Yeah,
And then, how far to the north would it come? I mean, where's
pretty
that?
much where Blue Nose.
Okay,
ends,
just
all
that
the way
area
down
right
to
there?
where that fence is by
Okay.
the river. And then
Okay.
we make a little finish line, and then so they just come in and are able to kind
Okay,
of
okay.
hang out there and
Okay.
have it safe, so there's no cars going
So
through.
traffic to the Legion can still get down, and then they got that parking
Yeah, the parking.
on the
yeah,
other
so
side
it's
over there and
all
everything?
parking lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. All right, understand that. Anybody else have any questions for Luana? Okay. I guess probably we need a motion to do something like this if somebody's interested in making that motion for the Blue Nose to block off that area Saturday, the 26th, this Saturday, from 6:30 a.m. to roughly 3 p.m. Okay,
Second.
and a second, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? There we go, thank you. Good luck, hope it goes well. Okay, then we'll drop back down here to, let's go, Melissa is here from Prairie Waters, come on up. Welcome.
Yeah.
Some of you might have to double up.
Thank you.
Grab them off
Oh,
of me.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Together.
You can skip me.
You can skip me too, I mean, see it tomorrow.
Alrighty. Thanks for having me. I am going to give you a little bit of an update on our Western Minnesota, our Prairie Waters, our regional recruitment, and retention program that the city and EDA have been a part of for, I don't know how many years. The program's been around since the 80s. It is a program of the UMDODC, Upper Minnesota Valley Regional Development Commission. We serve our 5 counties of Bigstone, Chippewa, Yellow Medicine, Lackahaw, and Smith County. big wall, with slots for guides, so we pay for our guide to be there, and they're constantly calling and requesting for more. So we go through thousands of them just down there, so we make sure that we get those filled. We have it on the Explore Minnesota Tourism website, so we do have a digital copy of it as well, with hyperlinks and whatnot, and again, EMT, Explore Minnesota Tourism, they get millions of viewers or people on their website every year, so we get a lot of downloads, just from having it on their website. And then if someone calls our office, we have a toll-free number, and they're requesting for more information on our area, this is generally one of the, the packets that we send them. And then, of course, utilizing it for our workforce recruitment, for employers to utilize. So when we designed this last guide, or the last handful of guides, we sat down with our employers, a handful of them, and just kind of did some interviews and asking them, you know, what would they want to see in the guides when they're, you know, trying to sit down with potential new employee or someone not from our area. You know, what would be helpful in the guide to be able to just take that and hand it to them and hopefully encourage them to potentially move to our area. So work with our employers on utilizing it, encouraging them, you know, we're, as we're doing our distribution plan, making sure that we're getting them into, you know, the hospitals and schools and, you know, the counties and some of those larger employers to be able to utilize them. And then both our technical colleges in Canby and Granite Falls are utilizing them in the orientation packets as well. Another project that we work on, this is a new project that we just got printed a couple weeks ago. So you all have a copy of them too. What they are is they're just these community little rack cards. The front has information on the city of Granite Falls, and all you have to do to scan the QR code is you just open up your phone, go to your camera, and you don't even have to take a picture of it. You just hover over it, and the little URL will pop up. So you just click on that, and then it'll bring you some more information. And then on the back side has kind of all of our county information on there that you can scan, and then you can scan for our digital visitors guide as well. So we just got, like I said, we just got these printed a couple weeks ago. What we ended up doing was not designing, but purchasing these little rack holders too for our businesses. We've had rack cards before that Prairie Waters has created, and you know, we've brought them to gas stations. They're like, yeah, we'll have some sitting out. Well, then they ended up just laying on their counter. They end up getting brushed away. So we thought it would be nice to have these little plastic holders for them that we can offer to our businesses. And then on the back side, there's a little sticker that says if they run out, they can call us or email us, and we'll make sure that we get them filled up again. So right now we're in the process of kind of doing our distribution of those. And our guides were really, again, they're tourism related or visitor kind of angle of it. But with these, what we really wanted to do was get them kind of in the hands of visitors or people passing through, you know, that are coming to our bars and grills or that are, you know, swinging through our gas stations or our hotels. So we want to make sure that we're getting those at kind of those stops that visitors are swinging through our communities for. The cool thing too about this QR codes is that we're able to track it on the backside. So we can eventually see once we get them out there and kind of distributed to all of our businesses, we can eventually track it and see how many people are clicking on each of the different links and where they're going from there. So as we kind of get it rolled out over the next year, it'll be kind of fun to track all that as well. And the cool thing too about it is, just because it's printed with the URL, you know, say down the road the eat and drink page changes. Well, on the back side, we can change that URL without having to change the whole new reprint, which is super handy. So we can be a little flexible with that. But that was kind of a fun project that we did this year for something new. We have our website. I'm not going to go through that with you guys because that would take hours. There's a ton of information on there. Again, just collecting all of our regional information on housing, childcare, education, healthcare. We have one thing that our office took on through this program, was to making sure that we go in regularly and update our places to eat, stay, and shop, and then making sure that we get, especially like our annual events, populated onto the website. The cool thing on EMT website is you can kind of create your own little itinerary or route. So if someone's coming to, Southwest or Western Minnesota, and they have their little route going through Granite Falls, then they'll have some of the events popping up as they're trying to plan their itinerary. So it's important that we get our information on their website, because again, they have millions of people viewing their website every year. Continuing to run some Google AdWords campaigns. So again, with this, what it is we're paying for, like when you're on Google and you search something, then up top it says ad or sponsored. Essentially, that's what we're doing with these. So we ran a couple of campaigns. If somebody's looking for, housing in Western Minnesota, we would then kind of rise to the top with, information on our housing, our realtors and whatnot. We ran some with employment too, someone looking for employment in, our 5 counties. We would have little Google AdWords that would pop up and kind of drive people back to our webpage. Mapping system. So this is actually just a screenshot of what our new mapping system is going to look like on our website. So right now on our website, we can filter by county, and then we can filter by like places to eat, stay, and shop. So essentially it's going to be the same thing, but it's just going to be kind of beautified a little bit. So this is a screenshot of, we also manage the Minnesota River Valley, the scenic byway in our office. So this is a screenshot of their website, which we just redid. So you can see, you can filter on the left there by things to do. So that will be you can filter by your county. Then you can filter by places to eat, and then I think under places to eat, there's maybe 10 other different filters you can do, like pizza, bar and grill, cafe, whatnot. So we're kind of in the process right now of revamping this, but it should be ready to rock in a couple weeks here, hopefully by the end of next week. Employment opportunities. So we have this little widget on our website. Again, this is just a screenshot of our website. But what we're doing is we're pulling from about 30 different online job boards, and we're pulling all of those different job boards, all of those jobs onto this one page on our website, where you can then filter by keywords. So you can filter by, registered nurse or marketing manager, or on the left-hand side there, you could filter by location. So you could click directly on the city of Granite Falls, and then you would have those employment opportunities or jobs pop up there. And again, we were driving a whole bunch of people to this webpage through some online campaigns and whatnot as well. Employer connections. So again, we have a ton of information, and we do our best to try and share it to folks and to get the word out to you all. But we really want our employers to have some knowledge with this program and what we can offer to them, because we don't want all this content that we collect and keep up to date just sitting on the shelf. So we want our employers to be able to utilize it. So we do some regular employer connections. I send out some regular blasts to our employers in the 5 counties. And then one thing we did this spring was I worked with Kevin Kettleson in our office. He's our EA director. We put together a workforce summit in Taunton. So we worked with the Southern RDC. And what we ended up doing was there was over 106 different employers between our 5 counties and then a couple counties to the south. But we pulled them all together and just kind of had some topics related on workforce culture, employment law, some AI stuff, and we did some different breakout sessions. So it was a great time. We did this 2 years ago too, to just kind of pull our employers together and learn from one another on our workforce recruitment. In addition to that, what we've been doing probably about every other month is some employer lunch and learns. And we've had a range from, again, depending on the topic, we've had a range from maybe 30 to 80 different employers that sit on these lunch and learns and webinars. So you can see I have kind of a list of some that we've done before. We've done like labor law updates, job posting and best practices, talent tourism, KMS internship project, our program, Black Carl as a CDL training program, some hiring trends in marketing, and then I did a whole webinar just talking about, again, our Prairie Waters program and encouraging them to utilize this content that we have. And then developer properties, again, screenshot of our website. So what this is Kevin in our office and our intern with our EDA department, what they've been doing the last couple of years is collecting kind of like an inventory of developable properties and vacant buildings or vacant properties and uploading it to the LOIS system, which is the state's website that developers are browsing, the Location One Information System. So what we're doing is we're populating all this information onto entice you to purchase a building or have a dream vacant lot that you wanna build or whatnot. So again, just trying to encourage, the different buildings and properties that we have for sale, in our region. And then also working with our EDA director on putting together, kind of a housing toolkit, what we're calling. We have part of it done, working on the other part of it now, but what this is again, our intern in our office is kind of collecting that inventory of, residential lots or housing areas within our cities, particularly ones that cities and EDAs own. And what we're doing then is kind of putting together this little toolkit for the cities to be able to utilize for marketing those lots, including information if they have like reduced, cost of their lots or free utilities, tax abatements, TIF, et cetera. And then we're gonna be including in this document kind of a list of all the contractors and whatnot too. So we'll have a little kind of toolkit, that the city will be able to use to promote if people are moving to town or, potentially moving to town and, interested in building, we'll have kind of this nice little ready-to-go toolkit for them to use. Other than that, I think those were kind of the main big projects that I wanted to hit on. There's a lot of little day-to-day marketing stuff that we do in between with, different advertisings and billboards, working with our county fairs on doing some advertising, and whatnot, and staying active on our social media and working closely with our chambers, and our EDAs on doing some smaller custom marketing things as well. So, but these are kind of the bigger highlights I wanted to focus on today with you all. So, any questions?
Very good job, Melissa. And I'd just say that picture that you had on that investment property, I believe it sold here just in the last 5-6 weeks or so.
Yeah, I'm sure, that was a screenshot I took a couple months ago, so.
Yep.
I'll update that, but yeah, I'll make sure that we do have that updated on the
Yeah,
actual
no,
side of
but
it, so.
very interesting, very good job. Anybody have anything, questions, comments?
And I do have your request in the, I think it's in the front page of the guide, for the 2026 membership. Same request as last year, and I believe you guys in the past have always just said with the EDA, so I'll be in contact, with them.
Yep, we'll have
Yep.
that back on our agenda.
Awesome.
Yep, very good. Thank you for coming.
Thank you much,
Yep.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yep, thank you. All right, we got,
I don't want to break it. That would be my luck.
and next we'll drop down here to 7B. Rich is here and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come speak. Rich
Yes.
Schneider, I'm superintendent of Wyoming School District. I also have two of my board members here with us, Sonia Peterson and Laurel Christensen. So I appreciate you taking some time. I'm not going to represent the Vote Yes Committee tonight because I can't. So just a little clarification. I'm just providing information. So I'm not telling people how to vote on this. I can't in my official capacity as the superintendent. So if there's questions or information people need, I'll provide that in either direction, vote yes or vote no. All right. So we'll go through that. I'm not going to also bore you with some of the same information that you may have gotten from Kate Hagner and Kayla. I believe they presented to you folks a while back. So I won't go through all that, so I'll try and give you a top-level view of this. I gave you a copy of it. This is a little bit of background. How do we get to today? Well, schools don't just come up with an idea, I'd like to build because we want a new building, all right? We have to go through a process, or it's logical to go through a process to make sure that we have a need, and that's called facilities analysis. We actually have conducted 2 of them. And since I've been here, one came immediately after we had a storm go through and take the roof off of much of our 1930 building. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, we had to fix that building and we had to fix it right now because we needed a place for our kiddos. So we did go through and used a company by the name of SiteLogic. It wasn't a good fit for us. We weren't ready to move forward with that. We went back to the drawing board, and this time we went with an architect out of Wendell Architecture, Jim Wilson, and R.A. Morton. This is the same company that works quite a bit around here. They did all of Lakeview of lead us through the process. So what was the process? How did we get to today? Well, like I said, the board didn't just come up with an idea that, hey, we'd like to spend 75 million. We needed to consider all options, everything from doing nothing and living just day to day, doing the repairs on our building, to starting completely over, all right? So we considered that. The board was not ready to make that decision on their own. They thought they should receive some input, so they assembled about a 40-member facilities focus group, and we met 5 times and took a look at several options. As we went through that process, they narrowed down, that focus group narrowed down those options to what they thought was the best option that weighed the impact it would have on taxpayers with the needs, what they thought were the needs of the school. We did a survey, then the board went out and said that wasn't enough, so we did a survey, and I talked to you folks earlier this year about the survey. Did a wide survey, we got about 23% return on that. That's actually a fantastic return rate. Industry average is 17%. So we were one of the better ones that they have seen in terms of return rate. That survey said that 58% of the people would support it with a margin of error of 4%. Meaning at lowest it'd be 54%, at highest it would be 62%. That's what that margin there is. So then we had some processes we had to go through to get it on the ballot, and that was called MDE's review and comment. That takes quite a bit of time, 90 days to get that through. We worked as quickly as we could and got it on so that we could have a vote on August 12th. The advantage with going with August 12th, because that comes up now and then, why August 12th? Why didn't you just wait till November 4th? If we wait till August 12th, we would not get a shovel in the ground in 2026. It's not likely with a 6 to 8, maybe even 12-month window on the design of the building, we wouldn't have gotten anything done next calendar year. And if we don't get anything done next calendar year, you folks probably understand the cost of things goes up 7 to 10% per year. Which means we either get 7 less, or we have to calculate in a 7% increase next time. What were the needs? We broke them into 3 categories. Aging infrastructure, which involves things such as electrical, plumbing, roof, the windows, the bricks, the doors, the locker rooms. We needed to address those. We had some outdated safety, security, and accessibility. What is that? Well, a secure entrance is something you'll see at newer schools. For example, McRae and Lakeview all have secure entrances. That means that when a visitor comes into our building, they have to pass in front of a person and be locked into that space before they can enter into the school. We do not have that in our current buildings. You have to buzz in, but there's nobody once you get in preventing you from having access to the rest of our schools. In fact, in BRE, you have to go down about halfway down the hallway to get to the office. It's just, we have to work with the buildings we have, and that's the best we can do. Other examples of accessibility would be things such as bathrooms, locker rooms, and science labs. They're not handicap accessible. Fire alarms. Our fire alarms are failing. They are not the modern fire alarms, and if we do too much repair on them, we'll have to bring them all the way up to code. They shot us a big fat hairy number of $1 million to fix up our fire alarm system if we bring it completely up to code. And that doesn't do anything for the function of the building. Elementary students are a good example of where they have to walk outside to get to the cafeteria. We only have one cafeteria to serve everyone. Inadequate space, that cafeteria itself, too small. We start serving lunch at 10:45 and serve until 1. Just it's too small for the number of students going through them. Classrooms are too small for effective instruction. What we did find out is our architect as they recommend things to MDE. MDE will not approve a classroom smaller than 850 square feet. That is our largest classroom, is 850 square feet, and we have maybe 2 classrooms of that size. So our classrooms are not big enough for the way kids are educated. The question comes up, well, it was good enough back in 1930, it was good enough in 2000. Yes, you're right, it was good enough back then, but it's not big enough now for the way we educate kiddos. A great example is special ed kiddos. When I was in high school, I graduated in 1983. Many special education kiddos were not in my regular classroom. They wouldn't have gotten around in the building, right? And now, by law, they have to, and it requires more space, all right? The track is unusable. That's not something we neglected. A track can only last so long. Clara City had the same problem with their track. They replaced it when they replaced their building also. Tech and agriculture classrooms lack space. In fact, a great example there is we have a small engine repair class that's not conducted in the building itself. They go out and use one of our sheds out back right next to our greenhouse. We don't have enough space for that. Ag and the career technical is a huge part of our rural community. So we want to make sure we sustain that. I'm not going to play any of these videos tonight. I encourage you, as available, go to the school's YouTube page, which is outlined there and included in that handbook, and take a look at those. There's some great videos that help kind of sell the information to you or explain the information. That bottom one there, that Egg to School, I know all of us are here because we live here in Granite Falls, but it's a big expense for our ag community. That explains the origin of that and how that came about.
If the Revive the Hive bond referendum passes.
So what did we take a look at? So what did we narrow it down to before we took it to the board? We looked at 4 things. Upgrade the current facilities. In other words, keep our footprint, bring it up to code, address all the plumbing and electrical issues, but keep the 1930 building, the 1965 building, the 1952 building, and the 59 building. That would cost $30 million. Still would have to be voter approved. Upgrade the current facilities plus add a bridge or connect the 2 buildings. That would cost $34 to $36 million. The reason that varies a little bit, we don't know hard and fast what's going to happen when we start going across that alley that runs in between. We don't know exactly how they will align and if the floors will line up exactly or not. We took a look at the option of just replacing the oldest part of the middle school, high school. That's the 1930 building. Just replace that and save BRE, right? That's $60 million, right? Then the last one we took a look at is replacing the middle school, high school, except we're going to save the best parts of the 65, the 1980, and the 2019-2020 buildings. That's $75 million, which is where we came up with our proposal for $74.395 million. What's it look like? It's going to be done in phases. I'll talk about the phases here in a second, but you can see in the upper right-hand corner there, that's the new high school. The upper left-hand corner there in the green on my picture there, that's the new elementary. Number 3 there is a commons or cafeteria area. Number 4, upgrading the 1965, the 1980 gym, and the 2019 really doesn't need much. We actually don't have a PA system and a way to communicate to that. It wasn't possible at the time to connect the 2, so that's one thing we can improve on that new building. And then number 5, that bottom part there, that's a new CTE wing. welding, agriculture, greenhouse. It's also going to likely house our art. We'll see how things, this is an approximation for what things will look like, but this is pretty solid with, it's not to scale necessarily, but pretty solid with how it will be laid out. Phase one. So we're going to do this in phases, and the reason we're doing this in phases is we need to continue to educate kiddos. So this is gonna take roughly 2.5 years, up to 3 years from when we started, meaning this fall, if it passes. Phase one, build a new middle school, high school. So then we would take those middle school, high school kiddos and move them into the new part. Then we would take the elementary kiddos and move them into the 1930 building. It's not ideal, I understand that, but we need the land underneath BRE. So then we have to tear down BRE and build a new elementary. Then we're going to connect those two parts with the new kitchen. So we'll keep our kitchen going in the 65 building during this construction time and then transition over. Phase four will be the updating of the gym in the 1965 building. We have some things we need to address in the 1980 building. For example, how many people have ever attended a graduation ceremony and was it hot? There's a reason. There's no air conditioning in that, and for heaven's sakes, there's no air conditioning in our kitchen. I don't know how that came to happen, but those are the two areas that are really in dire need of air conditioning. So we're going to address that by updating it. Then the last phase would be to build a CTE wing on the new buildings. Throughout this process, we're going to have to address parking lots, relocating a playground, the preschool playground, our new playground, our biggest playground should be fine where it's at, and then build a track. I don't know where that's going to fit in the phasing. We'll just have to wedge that in as we can. So. Well, what's it gonna cost us? People are always concerned about what it's going to cost. Here's some typical costs. The typical house in Yellow Medicine East School District is $150,000. So monthly, that would be $18 per month for that increase. We know that Ag Homestead and Ag non-homestead's going to pay a significant amount for this. But there's a breakdown of approximation. Minnesota does have a plan that will help cover 53% of the total cost of it. It's called the Ag to School Credit. So 53% or 40 million is going to be covered by the state of Minnesota taxpayers. It's the same program Lackaparl, McRae, Dawson Boyd all have taken advantage of. All right? So that means that roughly the other 47% is going to be covered by our local taxpayers, of which 24% is for us regular homeowners and business owners, and 23% will be covered by Ag, which is tillable Ag, and Ag Homestead. All right, so that helps out a great deal. The advantage of Ag to School Credit, they don't have to do anything. They don't even have to pay it up front. So it just happens automatically. One thing that people are always curious, where does Yellow Medicine East sit in terms of taxes compared to our neighboring school districts? Well, you can see on the left there, the tax levies for residential homestead. We are the lowest of our area schools, and the highest is McRae, who has the newest building. McRae, that's why their taxes are the highest. All right. Tax levies for Ag Homestead, you can see we are the lowest there. Marshall has some of the highest. They've got newer buildings. In fact, what's that called? Southside Elementary, their newest elementary. All right. They have invested quite a bit in their buildings. So that's what's causing that shift. You can see there, in full transparency, I I did include where we will be after the proposal. We will be higher, we'll be in the top three. I can tell you right now, Dawson Boyd's not gonna stay probably where they're at. They're going to need to add some stuff for operating referendum. McRae is probably, firmly planted where they're going to stay for a while. People always wanna know, what's this gonna cost me? Well, if you go to this website, you can figure it out yourself. I'll quickly show you how to find it. I encourage everyone to go look at it and figure out, well, what's this gonna cost me particularly? Here's our referendum website, great tool for us. Tax impact is where I encourage people to go. What's this gonna cost me? I'm gonna pull up the Schneider household taxes. This is all public information. Pull it up. We go to this website, and up here, I live in Yellow Medicine County on the west side of the river here. We go here, I'm going to click on this site. I'm gonna look up Yellow Medicine County. Except, the reason I need to do this is I need my parcel ID. So, I'll show you how to find Rich and Sherry Schneider's parcel ID. Clarification, Schneider Partners is not Rich and Sherry Schneider Partners. That's not our property, just clarification there. This is, you folks deal with this all the time. This is our tax statement. You can look down in the corner here, is a beautiful picture of our home. You can see exactly what our property looks like and where it is. This number right up here, that's my parcel ID number. I'm gonna copy that, maybe, and paste it in there, and you'll see the exact cost or increase to my property. I paste it in here. So my property is worth $281,300. This tax impact for me will be $490.02 over a year, or roughly $40.83 per month. That's what this will cost me. Each of you can do that for all of the properties you own that are in our district. Even somebody that doesn't live in our district, but has property in our district, can use this tool to figure out the impact. Because we do have quite a few people in that situation. The unfortunate thing is only residents of the Wyoming School District may vote on this decision. We do have people that are living outside our district that do own property in our district. Unfortunately, they do not get to vote. If you own property in Lakeview School District but live in Wyoming, you don't get to vote on Lakeview's. So that's how it works. One thing that most people are not aware of is what's called the homestead credit refund. I do have some handouts here for people. I'll try and pass them out to you folks as I leave here tonight. It's information. So people that live on a fixed income and have a household income of less than $100,000 may be eligible for a refund. Now, a refund means you pay it first, and then they refund you, right? I encourage everybody to contact their tax professional, find out if they would qualify. Many households in our school district would qualify for this refund, all right? Voting information, we open voting June 27th. I encourage people to vote early. Either way, I encourage you to vote on or before August 12th. Not telling you how to vote. You can vote several different ways. You can vote in person early. You can request an absentee ballot. They'll mail it out to you. Or you can vote at the KCC. Members or residents of the city of Clarkville are doing their vote by absentee ballot because they have another question on the ballot. And so they're paying for that absentee ballot. All right? Questions or comments? Of course, if you have some that come up before election or after this meeting, I encourage you to reach out to me. How about questions?
Yeah, very good, Rich. Anybody have any questions?
Are you hearing anything? I mean, it's okay. I got thick skin. I can hear some negative stuff too.
It's all good today here.
Nothing but positives for
Yeah.
us so far. so.
Very positive and
I would
everybody's
ask one
anxious.
favor. I would love if you folks voted and maybe pass a resolution of support, but that's up to you. If somebody made a motion to do that, I'd be more than happy about that, but,
Yep,
that's up to you.
yep, very good. Good idea. And, yeah, we can do that. I guess if anybody would care to show your support that way, we're open to it.
I'd move to make a resolution of support.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
And a second, thank you. Any discussion on that? All those in favor of supporting the addition to the school signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very well, thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank you,
very much
Rich.
for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you've done a fabulous job with this, and everything, and getting all the information out there, and I've heard a lot of positives about that, and the way the information has been relayed and everything, so we're just hoping for the best. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we need a good, strong school, and school builds the community as well, so,
Thank you.
yep, thank you. All right. Let's see here. Let's go back up to the top here, 5A, Airport Commission.
This is just information only, no council action item. For an update at the last meeting, the commission continues to look at draft master plan, future growth plans for the airport. And once a draft is finalized, that will go before council for review and ultimate approval.
Okay. 5B, the EDA Board.
Just information, no council action that I'm aware of from the EDA.
No? No. Okay. Now we're gonna drop down to 6B, the resolutions. We have tonight a donation to the Southwest Initiative Foundation.
This is a yearly request. It is a budgeted item, so it would be to continue to support the Southwest Initiative Foundation in the amount of $1,400, if council would like to continue.
Okay. Need a resolution on that, if anybody would like to so make.
So move.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor of the annual donation to the Southwest Initiative Foundation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, thank you. Now we have the elm tree removal bids.
Yes, council may recall, we did rebid this, so this is the results of the second bidding. And as a result of that, the lowest is from Northbound Tree Service and Contracting out of Canby. This is the outfit that we have worked with traditionally in the past, and have a good relationship with them with no concerns. So staff is recommending, if council's comfortable with it, to move forward and accept their bid.
Okay, I see last year here, we spent $18,800 roughly, and we got budgeted $21,400 for this year. Is that the same we had budgeted before? Is that $21,400? Did we increase that, or?
I believe we've increased it slightly over the years.
Okay, okay.
Just partly based on demand and Chris going out and marking trees and just what the need is.
Okay,
But it's kind of up to council too of
Yeah.
what we want to do.
yep. So, we're looking for a resolution on that.
So moved.
Okay? And a second, thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, very good. Let's see here, we got number 3 is a water main change order. Number 2,
So this was already approved, and we did move forward with this, but per process, we do need still formal approval by council.
this actually happened, what, 10 days ago or so?
Correct, yeah.
Yep. So we, tonight we'd have to, looking for a resolution to approve this. We really don't have any choice because we
Oh,
had to
it's
make a
been done.
decision and do it, so,
But we need to do it the formal.
yep,
So move.
all right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Is there a second? Second? Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Okay, then we're going to go on down here and see these ordinances here. We got the second reading of a couple tonight. First one we'll take is the Center Point franchise ordinance. Looking to approve, or if anybody has any questions or anything on the second reading. And after we approve this tonight, then it'll go into effect.
Correct. And in addition to approving the ordinances, asking council permission to also for both approve a publication summary that we will put together for the newspaper.
Okay?
And again, the first one is just establishing the franchise, and the second one is establishing the franchise fee, and this is for Center Point, whose only customer is the ethanol facility.
But we do have to take them one at a time, correct?
Correct, yes.
So we're looking at number 1, the franchise ordinance, second reading, approval. Somebody's got a motion on that.
So move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, now we'll take the Center Point franchise, the fee ordinance, second reading. Looking for a motion.
So move.
Second? Second. All those in, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Did you need something on that publication, or was that just kind of
Nope,
tied
that's-
in with them?
Nope, if council's comfortable just
Yep.
tying that in as part of that motion, we can do
Okay.
that, the resolution.
Perfect. I didn't hear anybody.
I'll
Disagree
take
with
it
that.
as we're okay, yes.
Okay. With that said, anything else to come before council?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Joel, very good.